Hey, hello, friends. Welcome back to Blue Pig Reviews. Today, we're going to be doing a more classic cocktail um, that's become more popular and even has its own national day. And that, of course, is the Pisco Sour. The Pisco Sour usually has its own day, celebrated in the first Saturday of February. This is after that fact, but we're going to get you into that drink and why it's popular. The Pisco Sour is really a classic sour. It is 2 parts of foundation whiskey. I mean, 2 parts Pisco instead of whiskey, like in the whiskey sour. 1 part sour, which in this case will be lime juice, or actually a combination of lemon lime, and we're going to explain that as we go. And that's to your preference, but traditionally it's just lime juice. The lemon lime combination seems to work a little better, but we'll get to that a little later on. And of course, the last part is the sweet, and the sweet is only 3/4. So your proportions are 2, 1, and 3/4. And in some cases, some people like it really sour, it'll be a half. But let's get to that. So what is Pisco? Pisco is a brandy that is made mainly in 2 countries, Peru and Chile. The difference between the two is that in Peru, there are stricter standards as far as what grapes you can use. They're usually puros, which means they only get one distillation, and they can't be aged in wood or have additives. Be mixed with either fruit wines or whatever else. In Chile, the rules are a lot more loose. There are more grapes that can be used. It can be distilled a number of times. They can add fruit wines to it. So it seems a little more varied. Definitely like comparing some bourbons to scotch or whatever else. And preference is everything. So let's take a look at 2 of them. We're looking at Barsol. And Barsol itself is a puro from Peru. And this is very popular. Usually what you'll find, Barsol comes in at 80 proof. We're going to taste both of them because we taste all our ingredients. And then, of course, we're going to use Capel, which is not the only Chilean one, but it's very common. You usually can find them. Both of these range around $20, 20 plus. And we poured some of them up, so let's get it going because I tasted them a little earlier. So the Barsol, the Puro, is a lot more dry. They both smell similar to white vermouth or brandy, a brandy combination, like a dry wine. And this tastes like someone is starting to try to make brandy. It tastes like distilled wine almost. Very light, slightly fruity, not very sweet. And then you have the Capel, which I still have a little in the glass. This is much more fruity. And it's fruitier, a little sweet, but it also has a wood taste to it. So you could tell that it was aged in something in a barrel for some time or rested as similar to tequila to give it its taste. So it's going to be interesting to see how these both turn out. Put those aside and let's get down to it. And what else you're going to need is you're going to need a rich, simple syrup. I make my own. Rich means that it's 2 parts sugar to 1 part water, and I boil up my own regularly. Usually I use rich demerara, but because this drink normally is on the clearer side, I used white sugar, granulated sugar, and made my own. And of course, you want to keep it natural. You can get the sugar cane liquid, the juice from sugar cane. You can buy it in your store from Goya, and you can use that as a sweetener. For me, that makes the Pisco Sour taste more like it was made in Chile or in Peru. There seems to be a better sweetener in a way for some, seems more natural than out there. It's an alternative. And then your last ingredient is either egg whites, because all sours have egg whites as the foam base, which I didn't add to the formula because that's a choice. Not everybody puts egg whites in the sour or the foam. But if you don't want to use egg whites, you can use fee foam. You can get on Amazon, or you can buy it at your local store, bar supply store. And you just put a couple of drops in, and when you shake, it'll make a foam. You can use aquafaba, which is literally the juice from around chickpeas. You can get some of that. Doesn't add any flavor. It gives the foam and gives the mouthfeel that you want from using egg whites. And then, of course, our last ingredient is going to be bitters or Angostura bitters. And you're not trying to dash bitters into the drink. You're trying to drop it to make a pattern on top of the foam. So you may want to dash a little of this into a cup and then use your own dropper and put it on top. But let's get down to mixing. Because we have egg whites I'm using, we're going to need the dry shake, which means shake without ice, and then shake with ice to do the drink. And you're going to need 2 strainers. You're going to need a Hawthorne strainer, and you're going to need your fine strainer to get it to go right. The reason is your juice is fresh. You're going to have some ice shards from the shake. You want the drink to be smooth and the mouthfeel to be smooth. So let's get down to it. Got 2 shakers here. Got a Boston shaker. These are your standard bar shakers. And we're going to do, this side is going to be the bar stool. So let's do that first. And I'm going to do my spirit first. So I'm going to go 2 ounces on this bad boy here. On this glass, I'm going to try not to get greedy. Because sometimes I get greedy. I'd be thinking that I'm making a drink for myself and not for the show. So I'll be a 2.5 guy. I'm going to do 2 ounces on that side. And then the Capel, working with its woody notes. I'm going to pull that. And we're going to put 2 ounces on that bad boy there. Yeah. Ooh, almost put it in the big side. I always put it in the little side. Some people do the big side. It's just, if you need to do anything, you can reach right in. Whatever else is easier to view, easier to shake and get up. And then we're going to do our juices. So we're going to do 5 ounces of lime juice and half ounce of lime juice and half ounce of lemon juice in each. You do 5 ounces, it'll be a sour, all right. So I'm going to do that in there. And this is fresh squeezed, so there's going to be some pulp. And just be prepared for that. Use your fine strainer to do that. And I always squeeze juice into mason jars. And the reason is preserve it. It's easier to store, lasts longer. Lemon juice. And I got it in a bigger jar, so I know the difference between the two if you're not a labeling guy. I use one as a wide mouth and one as another. Half lemon. And it's funny because I watch other influencers. I was watching Anders and got lemon on this side. He also did this, but he said that he does this because he had served a bad drink or a drink that the person disliked, because it's hard to tell when citrus is too sour or it doesn't taste like citrus where the person is from. And I get that. I do it because we used to have a citrus mix in the bar. So you had lime juice, lemon juice, what they call half sour, which is lemon lime mix. And then we used to have one called citrus mix, which was lemon juice, lime juice, and then half a part of orange juice. And, it had its uses. There were bartenders that either created drinks or it was a drink of the day. And they went, this is going to be 3/4 ounce of the rich syrup. And that's going to be a pour there because it's rich. It takes a little minute to get out the glass. I'm doing that on both sides. Right, I don't want a little bit heavy on that one. So this drink is going to be delicious. I'm a sweet tooth guy, so I'm digging that. And we're going to do our egg whites. Now, you could do half an egg white if you wanted. Oops, spilled a little. But I'm doing a whole egg white in both. And then we're going to give these bad boys a dry shake. Get that out of our way. So you're dry shaking enough to get it to go. And that's going to make a little gas in here. But I like to do them for about 8 seconds or so. See how that one almost blew open on me? See, it just jumped up. Sound angry. Yeah, man, it's not digging that. Same with this, Boston. And it's going to build up a little gas. You're shaking the eggs and you're getting that emulsion, and that's what's happening. The Boston shaker seems a little more stable. Open them back up. Open them up. Let's get some ice in them. Now we'll try a wet shake or a shake with ice. I'm going to do that. Get some in there. We'll give it a good amount because I want to get an emulsion going. I'm going to get it into both of them. Yep. I'm going on ice up. Going ice up in here. Yep. All right. You got our ice in there. I'm going to shake it. Boston. Nice. Icy on the outside. Get our standard shaker. I always forget what this shaker is called, but you can put it in the comments. Google works for everybody. Nice and chilled and shaken. All right, and then we're gonna get our glassware, and you can chill your glassware. I always do, but you don't have to. But I am, and so you know this drink can be served in a rocks glass, coupe, however you want it. We've got the double strain. Got the double strain. I saw some ice shards break through, so this one's gonna be icy. And it's not a warm day because you know if it's near Pisco Sour Day, it's got to be February. Yep. And that one's doing it. Okay. That's our Capel one. Give it a little chance to be itself. And you can see, look at that foam. Look at the foam that's built up on that. It's hard to see, I guess, because the glass is now fogging up because I use chilled glassware. All right. Then we're going to get this other one. And so with this one, you're going to need your Hawthorne strainer. And today it wants to be difficult. So the Boston shaker, if you squeeze it, it'll separate. I'm fighting it because I tried to muscle it. And I forgot where I was at. And it was winning. I'm going to do this one. Yeah, and I know I'm using the same fine strainer. I am fine strainer challenged. So this is my one fine strainer that I got in my bar. There's one over on the other side of the kitchen. But, you know, the walkaways, you know, people are like, you're walking away from the camera. Walking away from your crew. Yeah. It's a tough crowd at the library book bar. As you see, they are making no noise. All right. And work that around and get that out of our way. Okay. So then last, you're going to take your bitters and you got your little dropper. You get a dropper from wherever. You're just making a 3-dot pattern. If you're good, you can draw pictures. You can take a toothpick and draw pictures. I just usually do a 2 or 3-dot pattern. In this case, I did a nice 4, so this looks like dice. I wish I could show it to you on camera, but I don't think it would be that impressive. And that is the Pisco Sour. So let's try them. This is the Capel, our big boy Capel. I like them both. So, I mean, as far as Pisco. That's good. And this one, of course, is a little on the sweeter side because I tapped the sugar up a level a little. But this one is perfectly sour. The 3/4 ounce I recommend. If you like it extra sour, go for the half on the rich syrup. Or if you use simple syrup, the 3/4 may be just enough. It's going to be sour. With the richer sugars, sweetness comes faster with less amounts. And this is perfect for me. I don't like extra sour, but I could back this to half, and I'm sure that it will be fine. And that's the Pisco Sour, a basic sour. If you don't celebrate Pisco Sour Day, fine. But you know what? Pisco is an interesting, new, to most people, variety of liquor, and you should probably check it out. Especially you guys that are big brandy or cognac drinkers or even wine drinkers, you're going to definitely love it. If you love rum, you're going to probably love it. This usually hides between those two sections. Go out and get it. And like I said, if they taste good, then you're drinking good, and it's all good. Cheers and good pouring from Blue Pig Reviews. I'm going to leave these bad boys here on camera, but I'm going to take these bad boys with me.